Hi, everybody. It's Rod and Ron coming at you. Week 12 of the NFL action. Hey, how you doing this week, Ron? You ready to get into this NFL week?
Ready to roll. We got a big week. Had a nice weekend last weekend, 4-2, and hit it and climaxed it out with the Monday night game with Houston. A little shaky at first, but definitely got it in the end. But yeah, looking forward to week 12. Let's do it.
Nice. Me too. I had a little winning week. I had the under in that Monday nighter and got burned with the late touchdown. But hey, those things happen. Let's get into it. New week. We're going to do bunches of three here this week since it's just me and you going over these games. First group of games we're going to look at, we got Kansas City taking on Carolina on the road there for the Chiefs line. I see it's minus 10.5, minus 11. It's moving in spots. We're going to look at the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. I see that line at 3.5 in most spots in favor of the Vikings. And the last one we're looking at here in this first grouping is Tennessee taking on the Houston Texans. I see the Texans laying 8 in this one. Total 40.5 there in that one. What do you think here in this one, Ron?
Well, of course, mine and Mindy's Chiefs were victims of the Buffalo curse, in the regular season. I think they bounce back here, but I'm going to take them first half. I think the Chiefs jump in, get them first half. The thing about Kansas City, they just don't like to cover those big spreads, and I see another big one here. Although, the strengths of the team are totally in the opposite directions. I think Kansas City is just wants to bounce back, get everything going, and get out of there with a win. And look forward to the next couple of weeks. And got the Steelers coming up Christmas Day, so that's going to be a big one. Minnesota, Chicago, I can't take these Bears. I know they covered last week, but I look at Minnesota. As long as Darnold's going to be healthy, we're going to look at the Minnesota Vikings minus 3.5. I got that one about 24-17. So give me Minnesota in that one. The other game, nope. I'm not touching Tennessee. Never will again. But I'm going to take Houston in the first half. They're 5-0. And again, they covered for us Monday night. That was my first half play. I didn't have the whole game, but just the first half. And I'm going to stick with Houston on the first half.
And for me, in these ones here, looking at the Kansas City Chiefs and Carolina, you know what? We've seen Carolina actually score some points. And also, they can definitely give up a boatload of points. That defense still not running at 100%. With the starters that it should be running with. So for me, I think this Chiefs team, as you said, definitely looking for a bounce back here. And I think this is the perfect spot going against the Carolina defense that they can rack up the points. And in a total of 43, I like the over. Normally, we've been seeing unders from these Chiefs. But I like the over here in this spot. Carolina can add some points. I think the Chiefs run it up a little bit in this one. So give me the over there in that one. Looking at Minnesota taking on the Bears. It's that hook, right? It's that big hook. Minnesota's bad at winning low-scoring ones, and it's usually by 3 or 2 or 1. We've seen those type of wins by this Vikings team in Soldier Field. I don't think the weather's going to be that horrible in Chicago. It's supposed to be sunny and about 47. A little windy, as always. It's always windy in the Windy City, right? 12 miles an hour wind. Typical Soldier Field in November, right? And I like the under 39.5. I think we actually we get a lower scoring one. Hard hitting. It is a divisional battle nonetheless. But I do agree with you. I think the Vikings pull it out. Score that last second touchdown instead of kicking a field goal in this one.
Let's get rid of that hook. We'll be good.
Get rid of that hook. Yeah, maybe. Right? Get rid of the hook. And then I'm with you. Tennessee. 1-9 ATS if you keep chasing with Tennessee this season. Definitely not where I want to be putting anything. And then Houston, they're a 500 flip a coin whether they cover the spread or not. So at 40.5, I like the under. I don't think Tennessee's offense can score enough to get up and over that total. So give me the under in that one. I think the Texans do score some points, but I think they score into the high 20s, 27. So I'm looking 27-10. I think it's just 37. Gets us the under there in that one. All right, on to the next set of three. Next set of three, we're going to start with Detroit, heading to Indy. Detroit, 7.5 point favorite in that one. Looking at the total, I see it 50.5 in that one. New England heading to Miami. Big divisional battle there. with the Dolphins favored -7.5. And Tampa taking on the Giants up in New York. And Tampa favored by 6 in that one. Total 41. What do you think there in those three, Ron?
Yeah, we look at these and, I don't know who's going to stand in the way of the Detroit Lions. I'm sure not. Both teams are 4-1, respectively, 4-1 on the road against the spread for Detroit, and then 4-1 at home. And one of the, Indy's one of the best covering teams actually in the league. But here's the thing. They turn the ball over big time. They fumble, the interceptions really kill them. And Detroit capitalizes on that. And once again, Rod, we got a hook. We got a hook. If we didn't have that hook, I'd be all over Detroit. But I'm going to take the over 50.5 right now. Give me over 50.5 in that one. New England and Miami. Miami's just horrible covering the spread at the house. I know they snuck in there with against the Raiders there. But I'm going to take New England. New England's found some newfound talent in Mr. May, and of course Stevenson running the ball. You look at the Miami defense, not too shabby against the run. I may want to look at the under in that one, under 46 between those two. So we get DeVito's back, right? Is that what we're hearing? So
that's what we're hearing.
Look at the Giants.
For the Giants, yeah.
Yeah, the Giants are 0-5 first half, so I'm going to take Tampa Bay first half. I think the Giants might get the cover in the end. It's 6.5, so it's kind of telling me maybe the Giants sneak in the back door, but definitely Tampa Bay in the first half.
And I'm with you with the Detroit and the Colts. I like the over there in that one. Just the way this Detroit team's been running up the offense, 395 yards per game, 6.5 yards per play. Just definitely running up pass offense, 8.6 yards per attempt for this Detroit team. Oof, they've been averaging well over 30 points a game, 34 points, 4, and giving up about 18. So that's kind of what we expect there, and that gets us well over this total of 50.5. Agree with that one there. And then New England heading into Miami. This is always one of those tough spots, especially usually for New England. Usually the Dolphins capitalize, and usually you see it the other way for many years that I remember growing up as a Dolphins fan. Laying 7.5 with the Dolphins? I haven't seen that in since we've seen Dan Marino back at QB there for the Dolphins. At -7.5 in this battle. So it's like New England's got a defense, but they're looking like they've been starting to fold and make and keep up. So I got to go with New England there. Plus the that hook is big. So I lean.
Yeah, we want the hook now. We want the hook.
Yeah, I want the hook now. Give me the hook. I want
give me that hook.
Give me New England plus the 7.5 there. That extra little luck is exactly what's going to sway me that direction, because Miami winning by more than a touchdown is like, I've seen it too many times where last second field goal winning, and then with Daniel there at coach, we're last second field goal kicking to winning games plenty of times as a Dolphins fan, so many times. You know what I remember with DeVito? Now we're looking at the Giants taking on Tampa. DeVito, he's always that guy. He came in when he first came in as QB. It was actually pretty good because he got hyped up a little bit, and then he got overhyped, and he just did a nosedive. Can he actually recover and actually keep it close? I don't know. You know, look at Baker Mayfield and what he's been doing there at the Tampa Bay, and it doesn't even matter. Next man up. They just next guy up. Whoever's next on that field, he finds them. He makes the play happen. So minus at less than a touchdown, I got to lay with Tampa Bay there in that one. I think they do come into New York, and DeVito or no DeVito. It's I don't know. It doesn't matter who's in the Meadowlands there for the Giants. I think it's going to get ugly. I got to go with Tampa Bay there in that one. On to the next set. We're looking at Dallas heading into Washington. Dallas, 10.5 point dog heading into Washington. We're looking at Denver heading into Vegas, 6 point favorite there in that one. Total 41. And Arizona heading into Seattle. Seattle, 1 point favorite there in that one. Big divisional battle in that game. Huge one. Big implications going in that one for the playoffs. So who's what do you think here in these three, Ron?
Yeah, and so you look at Cooper Rush; he's throwing a lot more than Dak was, didn't he? Right now, so this is a rivalry game, and Washington's coming up, another rivalry game. That's a bad spot for the Washington Commanders, and Dallas actually hasn't been too bad on the road in the first half. Just at home, man, they just horrible. So I'm going to look for Dallas in the first half plus that 5.5, and I think we can get there. I think Washington comes out with a little lackluster performance, but in the end, it looks like Washington all day to me at the end. And the other one, Arizona and Cardinals, I'm a believer, and the Seattle Seahawks are horrible at home, 1-5 against the spread. Give me Arizona plus the 1. Keep giving me more points if you want. But Seattle off a big win against San Francisco on the road, come back home where they're just horrible. 2-6 at home. It's been horrible for them, which is very odd because Pete Carroll was a great home. They were a great home team, and it's very odd to see that in that one. And what was the other one there, Rod?
We did Denver, Vegas.
Yeah, Denver and Las Vegas. This one's in Vegas. Probably have more Denver fans because all through Wyoming, Nevada, all that area has always been Denver Broncos fans out that way. Again, Denver 5-1 on the spread on the road. You got to look obviously at the under, but I definitely want to look at Denver minus the points in that one.
And for me, looking at these ones, Dallas heading into Washington, you know what? There's that hook again. The hook in our favor, because I'm going to take Dallas plus the 10.5. If it drops down below that, I'm not touching it.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
I have this game right at Washington at the 10 plus. They are that much the better team. You look at this offensively, pass offense, they're averaging 7.5 yards per play. Total offense, 6.1 yards per play, and you look at the Dallas defense, and they're giving up 7.8 yards a play, 6.1 yards per play on defense combined altogether between the rushing and the defense. You look at Dallas; they've actually slowed up the run, not too bad, but yikes! Washington can definitely put up the points, but it's one of those divisional spots where it's after you've lost 5 games, I think you finally you slowly, as we've seen, I think that was the best passing game I've seen from Cooper Rush in his career last week. Well, he finally got over. He had went under his passing yards in 10 straight games. He got over that last game. Maybe that one big giant pass at 65 yards definitely helped that one. But the offense is trying. At least they're making an attempt. And that's probably what happens here. You end up getting the back door with Dallas at 10.5. Anything less than that, I'll lean to Washington. And Denver coming into Vegas. I'm going to go Denver. I got Denver by a couple touchdowns. That Denver defense definitely stepping up, holding teams down when they only give up about 17 points per game. While the Vegas defense giving up 29 points a game. I got this like 31-17. That's plenty enough to cover the 6 that this line's at. A little fishy to me, but I'm not going to take the bait. Give me Denver, lay it. They're slowly. Bo Nix is looking pretty good there for the Broncos. So he's just improved from what he was from the start. He just keeps looking like he's getting better and better and better game after game after game. So give me Denver there. You know what? I'm back in Arizona. I've been back in Arizona before the season. 2 more wins to get my win total where I had it at 7. So this is one of the ones that I had circled that Arizona can come into Seattle and get a win. As we've seen over the few weeks, Seattle used to be that the 12th man, and it hasn't been the 12th man. It hasn't been all like, yeah, like it used to be. Maybe they should have a clappy night and bring him back, and maybe that'll fire up the Seattle fans because they just haven't looked like the same Seattle.
It doesn't
place to play that used to be. Nobody wanted to come to Seattle because it was so loud in there. But I think Arizona can come in and get themselves a win there in that one. All right, on to the next set of games. We'll go to the next 3 set First one we'll do is we'll go to the San Francisco 49ers heading into Green Bay Lambeau Field on a Sunday afternoon. Green Bay favored 1.5 on that one, total 47.5. The other one we're looking at is the Sunday nighter, Philadelphia heading into LA. Eagles minus 2.5 there in that one, total 49. And then the Monday nighter is Baltimore heading into LA, taking on the Chargers. And the Baltimore minus 2.5, favored in that one, total 51. What do you think in these three games, John?
Yeah, in San Francisco, coming out that loss at home, they're now going on the road. That's been a great spot all year for a team that lost outright as a home favorite, now a dog on the road. It's over 68% this year, if you believe that. So I'm going to ride with those 49ers. I got the better defense between the two. I got the better offense between the two. I got a total of a 7 out of 10 on defense, 7 out of 10 on offense, and a total of 14 out of 24 on my rating. And then Philadelphia, love Philadelphia going into the Rams. The Phillies really putting it together. And if you can stop Saquon Barkley, then now you got Devontae Smith and everybody else to deal with now. Plus you got Jalen running the ball. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are really coming into their own, and the good time of the season. They're going to be pressing for that number 1 seed, definitely in the NFC. And the Harbaugh Bowl, Jim and John going at it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, I love these Chargers, man. They sold me last week, and I know that the thing about Baltimore, and you look at between the two, you got offense against defense, and defense wins championships, and I'm going to take the Chargers at home.
And for me, looking at these ones here, we're definitely we're going to butt heads a little on these ones. I'm looking at I like Green Bay here in the spot. You look at the 49ers defense, and it's still not at 100%. And they've just added to another Javon Hargrave, that defensive tackle, most likely partial tricep tear on Sunday, out for what's likely the season. No Dre Greenlaw, linebacker this week, dealing with left ankle issues. So, and then safety. Hufanaga out for the 49ers. So that defense definitely banged up. You're looking at Nick Bosa. He's 50-50. Is he going to go? He's got hip or oblique. He's likely going to miss some time. So most likely that Nick Bosa is going to be out for the 49ers as well. So I think Love is able to put up some points. But then when you look at the other side of things, like Green Bay defense is pretty much a lot more healthier than what the 49ers is. Both offenses we know can definitely put up some points. And I think that's the difference there, that the 49ers defense is still not at 100%, and I think Love can capitalize. So at this minus 1.5, I think this line I make it should be we should be looking at a hook. It's in Lambeau. Give me Green Bay there in that one. And then looking at the Sunday nighter, right? I kind of I agree with you there. How do you go against these Eagles in the spot? They started off the season, they weren't healthy. They were dealing with injury issues all over the place. And then now Barkley can run the ball. You had A.J. Brown back. They're definitely putting up some points. And this Rams definitely still dealing with offensive line issues. So when you can't protect the QB in that backfield, we've seen what the Dolphins did. And the Eagles are a lot healthier than what the Dolphins are. So for me, I got to go with the Eagles there in that one.
And that place will be packed with Eagles fans. You know it.
Oh, packed, right? It's like one of those, it's one side of the country to the other that they don't get to see their Eagles
travel
fans.
well.
So they travel well in that Sunday nighter. Definitely we're going to see a lot of Eagles fans in SoFi there in that one. So looking at Baltimore taking on the Chargers. Baltimore, big divisional rival. I don't know if people are like, oh, it's such a down spot. It's you get up for those games, and this is going to be a flat spot. Chargers have been playing pretty good all season long. I like Baltimore to come out in the first half. I think this is a bounce back spot for Baltimore. Do they get the win full game? I don't know. Brother versus brother. Who would you think at the end? I like Baltimore here in the first half, and I can make a case for both sides full game. I actually do think we see some points. So I like the over 51.5
I
here in
agree with
this
you on
one
that. Yep.
in full game. So we've seen this Chargers defense. They can give it up rushing the ball. So I think Baltimore will have a field day running the ball. Somebody we know who's definitely can run the ball, who's now on Baltimore. I think he scores at least
Yes,
two,
he
maybe
is.
three.
Two of them, actually. Gus Edwards is there, too.
Yeah, so Baltimore's going to have a field day running against the Chargers, who definitely can. They're giving up, what, 4 point something? Almost over 4 yards a rush. Are the Chargers defense? That's where their one weakness is, and that leads to Baltimore. So give me Baltimore there in the first half. There in that one. Thanks everybody. That's your week 12. Hey, for me, I'll probably have anywhere from 7 to 9 plays over at Tony'sPicks.com. Definitely head over. We had a little winning week, so buy low, sell high. Should have a giant week this week in the NFL. Hey, why don't you let everybody know what you got going over at Tony'sPicks.com there, Ron?
Yeah, definitely. College football coming up on the weekend, and NFL. College has been good, and number 2 the last 30 days on there. And NFL, like I said, had a winning weekend, so that's all that matters. And we're going to do it again this weekend. So make sure you stay tuned.
Definitely. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate each and everybody. Make sure you subscribe, like. Definitely have yourself a winning weekend. So we catch you on the next one.